Hello, good evening, everybody. How are you? Welcome to another series or another episode of Lunch Actually webinar. Yeah, so yes, hello. Yes, hi, Deborah. Please do say hi in the chat because we want to know who's here. Yes. Please do say hi so we can say hi back to you. So as you know, we are in December right now, and I can't believe it. Is this actually going to be the last webinar that we're going to have for this year? So I'm actually very excited because I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that, we have been able to do like really webinar after webinar after webinar. But at the same time, we're just so happy to see all of you here today. Let's see, we have Su Ying, we have Shulin, Eugene. Hi guys. So I know some of you have joined us for many times, so I can recognize your name. But those of you who are joining us for the first time, maybe you can just write one in the chat to let us know so that we can welcome you. Yes, just type one in the chat right now. Okay, so we do have some newcomers. We have Ben, we have Su Ying, Clara, Joshua, Angel. Wow, okay. Quite a number of you who are here for the first time. And Deborah has done a very good observation. Deborah say how cool that the last webinar is full of flower holes. And Christina, yeah, Deborah, we are so thoughtful, right? We did it on purpose. Okay, but anyways, yeah, hello, hi Moon, yeah, hi Paresh, yeah, so many of you here who is joining us. And of course, we also like to do a roll call. So where are you guys from? Tell us in the chat, where are you from? Which country are you from? Which city are you from? Let us know. Hi, Radha. Yep, so we have from Singapore, we have from West Singapore. Wow, I like that, very specific. From Hong Kong. Okay, where else? Where is everybody from? Hi, Krishan. We are from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Penang. Yay, I love Penang. I really miss Penang. Oh my goodness, it's like the chao kway teow here is just not the same. But anyway, don't tell my husband. My husband loves Singapore chao kway teow, and I'm like, never mind. Okay, and then we have Angel from KL, Ashley from Penang. Wow, so many people from Penang. Anybody from Thailand or Indonesia? Yes, say hi. We want to welcome everybody. We are so excited to be here with you today, because this is the last webinar of the month, last webinar of the year as well. We have Shulin from Johor. Yeah, Angel say ha. I think she understands what I'm talking about with regards to the chao kway teow. Okay, so since we have quite a number of people who is joining us for the first time, I think I just want to do a very quick introduction about who I am and also who we are. Yeah, Angel say chao kway teow from Penang much better. I agree. Okay, anyways, I'm sorry, okay? This is not going to be Makan Sutra. We won't be talking all about food today. Okay, so like what I was saying, I just want to do a very quick introduction about who I am. So as you can see from my name is Violet. I'm also in Violet so that you won't forget my name. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Lunch Actually, and have been doing this for the last 17 years. So the reason why I was inspired to start this business was because I was working in a bank and I saw that a lot of my colleagues were single and not dating. So I always say I must thank my colleagues because not for them, I might not have this inspiration to start this business. And then I came across the concept of lunch dating, which I thought was really interesting. And I could see how that would fit into the, I would say, time slot of my colleagues who were always like so busy the whole day, but always have time for lunch. So that was how at 24, I decided to quit my job and started Lunch Actually. And of course, in the last 17 years, we have grown, we started in Singapore, but what we are now also in like some of the countries that you guys are from, like Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, as well as Hong Kong as well. And of course, we are looking to continue to expand. So other than matchmaking, we also provide date coaching as well as image coaching. So the reason for that is that after being in the industry for a while, we realized that finding the right one is not just about meeting the right one, which is what a lot of singles focus on. We realized that you also need to be the right one and also choose the right one. That's why we feel that date coaching and image coaching is so important, and that's also the reason why we have started this webinar series as well. So this actually started during COVID, but it has really been very successful. It has been very well received, and of course we have amazing audience like you guys who come attend our webinar. Like initially was week after week, and then now month after month. And I know a lot of you have also mentioned that you have gained a lot of knowledge, you have really benefited from these webinars. So that's the reason why we have continued doing these webinars. Yes. Okay, so that very quick introduction to just give you a sense of who we are and why we are doing this. So I think to kickstart, I just want to hear from you guys as well, because, you know, like 2021, maybe it has been a bit better than 2020, not sure. So how has it been for you? So like, has 2021 been better than 2020? Like, you know, type in the year that it's better for you, like in the chat right now. So let's just see, you know, how it is. Like 2020 better or 2021 better? Let's see in the chat. Okay, and then some of you are still like writing about food. Okay, sorry, we'll do Makan Sutra another time. Okay, so we have Daniel who say 2020, Alicia 2020, Rose say 2021, Krishan say 2021, Shulin say 2021, Jane say 2020. Okay, I would say it's really quite half and half. Some of you say 2020 was better, some of you say 2021 was better. Deborah says slightly happy and healthier mentally. That's awesome. 2021 definitely better. And then we have Dan who say none. Okay, oh no, Dan. So I hope 2022 would be better for you, Dan. Ashley also say both are bad. Dan say go back to 2019. Sorry, but then we cannot go back, so I think we need to look forward. So okay, but not to worry. Okay, we are here to talk to you about first date guides, because, you know, like, I think you're going to be going on more first dates in 2022, I'm sure, because, you know, like, everywhere is starting to open up. So with that, I would like to introduce my very, very special guest, or also in this case, my partner, who will be joining me today. And like what Deborah has very, very, you know, like observant, you know, she has mentioned that there are 2 flowers in the room tonight. So let's welcome Rose.
Yeah, we're still talking about this, right? Today we have two flowers.
Yeah. So Rose is like one of our, I would say, longest serving matchmakers. Yeah, she has been with us like I kidnapped her fresh out of school. And then she has been with us a very, very long time. And then now she's also our country head in Singapore as well. So I'm very, very happy to have her here with me to talk about, you know, this very, very important topic, which is all about first dates. Because ultimately, you know, there needs to be first date, then there can only be second dates, and then there can only, like, you know, have like a relationship, and then subsequently, like, you know, the next stage, right? Okay, so Rose, I'm sure like everybody knows you here, but just for those of them who are joining us for the first time, like maybe you just want to do a quick introduction of yourself, and maybe also share with them, like, you know, the most memorable experience, you know, like of matchmaking client, or anything you would like to share with them.
Can. So my name is Rose. I'm the country head of Singapore. I've been working here for 10 years. Very long time. I still remember the day, you know, Violet interviewed me, groomed me, gave me, you know, so much guidance, you know, to be who I am as well. So
I didn't pay her to say that. Okay, but anyways.
yeah. I can try to you know, apply for a job at Lunch actually.
Yeah, we are hiring, exactly. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, talking about client stories, right, and about first dates, you know, first dates are always, it can be it can be nerve-breaking, and then I have clients who are nervous on both sides, right? So I do remember one of my success couples, you know, they are married right now. So these 2 people, you know, let's call them J and J lah, okay, both of their names start with J. And what I did specially for them, right, was to arrange this date at McDonald's, because the girl wanted something that is more casual. You know, he wanted someone who is more spontaneous. So because McDonald's doesn't take reservation, so I had to go to McDonald's and introduce both of them, because we arranged blind dates. Okay. So the first date was very awkward. Because my male client, who is usually very funny, you know, came across as a bit lame lah. He came with a toy, and then he kept trying to ask her to solve it, and obviously none of us could solve it. Okay, and then, you know, it started becoming a little bit like, oh, you know, a bit like, hey, why this guy like this one? Then after the date, I also told him, hey, you know, why you suddenly bring out
how long were you there? Were you like there for the entire date?
No. Okay, so I went in about 10 minutes and I witnessed the toy thing. Okay. And then I tried to you know, talk about topics that I know both of them enjoy. Okay. Yeah. Then after 10 minutes, I said, oh no, I got to work already. I got a lot of work to do, guys. Yeah. So I left and went back to my office. So the girl told me after the first date, like, oh, he seems like a nice guy, but I'm not sure if he has a sense of he's not very competent. Maybe, he kept playing with he brought out a toy. You remember that, right? And then it was very awkward at first. But what happened was she actually gave him a chance. They went out for supper. And they went out for more suppers because she actually lived near his place, so he had a lot of chances. Then after that, they got together. So we always remember that day, even during his wedding and their housewarming event that they held, they still talked about that day.
So like did they like like put that toy into a box, like put it in their house?
I
Yeah,
hope he burned it. It was the puzzle box kind,
puzzle
the kind
box
when
type.
you figure out how to remove a part. Yes,
Deborah
a
help us cubic.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's a
So
puzzle cubic.
wow, I think maybe was he trying to find out like whether the girl is like smart enough to solve it? Like maybe like smart girls.
I don't know.
Okay, so
But
yeah. So I mean, I'm glad that despite that, maybe a bit a puzzling start, okay, they did end up finding love, even though that first date may not have been perfect. Okay, so what about the rest of you here? Like I'm sure you have first dates, like that maybe have gone very well, or maybe have not gone very well. Maybe you can share with us in the chat right now, and maybe if your story is very interesting, we'll share it with the rest of the audience as well. So while we wait for your stories to come in, we are going to launch our first poll. So I think those of you who join our webinars often enough, we usually have this poll. Okay, so it's in front of you. So those of you who again join our webinars like multiple times, then you will know which is the answer lah. But then the rest of you might get it right or might not get it right. But it's okay. Like just give it your best shot. What is the goal of a first date? Yes, very simple question. What is the goal of the first date? Okay, so let's see. I just realized that how come the correct answer is not in the poll?
this one is none of the above. I have a better answer.
Okay, so give you all just a bit more time to answer. Okay, quite a number of you have answered already. Very good. 65% of the room. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to end the poll right now. Wow, very good. Today, all our participants very participative. 75% of them have participated. Okay, so according to the room, 57% of you have answered to get to know my date better. Okay, so that is more than half of the room. And it's followed by next, to assess if my date is the right person for me. Okay, and then that's the two key ones lah. The rest is like just very few, like 9% to have a good time, 2% to practice my dating skills. Wow, very interesting. Those of you who answer this, 7% to fall in love and find my right partner. Wow, that one a bit scary because on the first date, if you have that mindset, it might be a bit pressurizing for the other party. And then we have one person who say, none of the above. I have a better answer. Okay, who is that one person? Okay, that one person, please write in the chat right now. So what is the better answer that you have that is not written here?
Is it Rose? I think Rose was saying to have a second date.
I thought that's you leh. I get very confused. So there's another Rose in the room. So
No,
there's
there's
not you,
another
Rose.
Rose. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
okay, so all the Rose get the right answer. Correct. So it's to have the second date.
Yay, Rose.
Okay, yes, Rose, tell us a bit more about this. So why is the goal of a first date is to have a second date?
You asking me this, Rose?
You
or the
lah,
Rose
you. The Rose in front of me. Rose one.
The Rose who answered can I'll reply you already. Yeah, so I mean the goal of the first date is the second date. When we go on a first date, if we think about just getting to know each other, we just think about maybe seeing if this person is a suit for me. I do feel that it's not really the end goal. When we go on dates, right, it's to ultimately maybe get into a good relationship or find someone suitable, right? So the end goal of the first date should always be the second date, third dates, and especially for maybe starting with women or from females' point of view, the things that most women are looking for when it comes to a partner, they are things that you can't really tell on the first date. Okay, so this include character traits, this include values, these are things that a lot of our clients would not be able to see on the first dates lah. So that's why second dates, third dates actually help get a better view. Even after the first dates don't work out, I always encourage them to try again. And there's so many stories where the girls actually fell in love with the guy over time, even though the first dates don't go well.
Okay, tell another one of those stories. I'm sure you have many of that. Come, storytelling
A
time.
lot. That's why, right? So we actually have a lot of these stories. Like there's so many, I can't pinpoint an exact one. So basically, we arranged a date. Okay. For whatever reason, the first date was very neutral. The lady just feel like nothing, no sparks, no chemistry. Guy not very confident. Conversation was not so smooth. Okay lah, 5 out of 10. The rating was 5 out of 10.
5
and
out
when
of
we
10. Fail.
yes,
Or
5
just
out of 10,
pass.
wait.
Just pass.
Just pass lah, that kind. And then the guy is like, wow, I really like her. I'm very attracted to her. I like her personality. She's very warm and bubbly. 9 out of 10.
But at least the girl never scold you lah, so still got chance.
Yeah. No lah. She was actually very nice about it. She just felt that it was not a match for her lah after the first date, right? So the guy's like 9 out of 10, and then I want to see her again. I'm going to arrange this second date. Because she mentioned that she liked this during our conversation. So apparently during conversation, she shared that she wanted to watch this certain movie, and then he actually paid attention to videos like that, which is very nice. And he actually tried to ask her for a second date based on that information that he paid attention to. So because of how attention, I think the detail, he's very, very attentive to the details of the conversation. The girl actually gave him a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, and eventually they got together.
Okay, so the moral of the story is never give up.
Yeah, I think it also helps that he really is listening to her and not just trying to place, I think more force a second date, or third date. He really paid attention to what she was talking about during the conversation, and that helped him with points during the follow-up.
Very nice. Okay, so I think like based on what we have talked about just now, which is the objective of a first date is really to get a second date. So there are also times where people do certain things on a first date, right? And as a result, it actually costs them a second date. So like what are some of these things that like maybe you have observed, like maybe clients have done or singles have done, like over your last 10 years of being like a matchmaker that you want to share with our participants tonight?
Oh, okay. But you also have some stories like this also, right? I'm sure.
You share first.
Yeah,
then I'll share mine. Yes.
I think for first dates, maybe what some common, like basically common mistakes that they make, or some mistakes that they have done. Oh, someone says wear good fragrance. My mistake would be wear too much fragrance. Yeah, but I think to begin with, maybe not putting enough effort. That's one thing that comes up, especially nowadays where a lot of us, we might be going on more dates, because we are actually on dating apps with options, or maybe we swipe a lot, and over time going on too many dates with no end result, it does bring a certain fatigue to how we feel towards dates. And when that happens, then people start to put less effort. They don't feel that dates are special anymore. They feel that, okay, it's just another meeting, maybe, every guy also like to watch soccer. Every girl I meet also, likes to eat. So they start to see each day as a number. They don't put in effort in the way they dress, in the way they prepare for the date. All of these are not put in. So what happens is, maybe the other party doesn't feel that this person is as interested anymore. It totally comes across as a shutdown, or receptiveness to getting to know someone, right? I just spoke with a client recently, and what I like about him is he's very cute, he has a lot of dates, but I like that he's very old school. So he thinks about, a date for him is a chance for him to dress up, bring the girl to a nice place, order a nice glass of wine. He even tells me that he still cuts his hair in preparation for the date.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he goes
That's
to
like
a
super unusual. Yes.
very unusual, and
Yes,
he
yes.
really treats each date right with a lot of importance.
Yes,
No,
yes.
and he sees it as a chance of excitement of meeting someone new,
Yeah.
learning new stories, and I think that
Yes.
curiosity helps him be a better date.
Wow. So all the guys out there, like maybe you want to consider this, because I mean, definitely, like on the other hand, we also have heard of people who like just appear on a date like wearing their football jersey. So that's definitely a no-no, unless like your first date was to go and watch football together, like then that might be a bit relevant. But please do not show up in your football jersey on a first date. Um I'm just thinking of some of the like really bad date stories that we have heard, right? I think another one was that I think sometimes people don't think about it so much. Like I remember one of the
Mm.
the feedback we got was that everything went well. And then at the end of the date, when the bill came, and then the guy actually like took out his phone and like pressed on the calculator app and kind of like divided everything down to the last
Yeah,
cent. So
yeah.
yeah, that was really quite like, I mean, maybe to the guy, like he's thinking like, oh yeah, they asked me to go Dutch, like, so I go Dutch, or yeah, but it's like, no, the best thing is that after that, then the guy was like, oh, I really like her, I really wanted to go out with her again. I messaged her, but she never replied me, like, why?
Yes, yeah. This one quite common, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And then, we'll be like, you mean you don't know why? Yeah, because I think in their mind, they are just very straight, right? They're like, oh, but I thought you all asked me to like, split the bill or whatever. But then, that's why now like we have to prompt the guys a bit more, right? We are like, okay, like clearly
Yeah.
if it was a good date, you want to ask her out again, like, probably you want to offer to pay or maybe pay more, like don't split it down to the very last cent. And then after that, you're like, hey, how come she's not replying my message?
Yeah. I think that's why. Okay, I understand when maybe both parties are not interested, then they
Yes.
agree to split the meal. But
Yeah.
I'm always surprised, right? So when I look at feedback and I realize, okay, maybe the guy didn't pay, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe he, both parties are not interested. But when I talk to
Yes.
the guy, and then the guy is like, oh my god, I really like her, but she's not responding to me. Can you tell me why?
Yeah.
Like, I said, okay, can I find out why didn't you initiate to pay? Because it's
Yes.
always a nice
Yes.
gesture
Yes.
that makes
Yes.
the girl
Yes.
feel special, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I think something to think about lah. And I think another one which I think people sometimes do not realize as much, because like our phone has just been such a big part of our lives, right? Like I think a lot of us, like the first thing we do when we wake up is like look at our phone, be it to like
Yeah.
off the alarm, or be it to like check our messages or emails or whatever not. So I think sometimes like some people, they are kind of like, the phone is like kind of like part of their body like that, So it's like even when you're on a date, and then it's like even the phone is not ringing, like there's no buzzing, but they just need to like kind of have to take it up, look at it. Yeah, so that definitely create a very bad impression. I think the problem is sometimes people are not even aware of it. Yeah, and I think this is also
Mm.
some feedback that we get sometimes, right? I mean, of course, on one
Mm.
hand, we also have heard of feedback where like they say is the guy is constantly on the phone or the girl is constantly on the phone, and then when we get the feedback and then they say, oh, like because my boss called me lah, I got this urgent business deal lah, and things like that. But I mean, I think barring is like let's say family emergencies, I think people will find it very hard to accept that you are like on the phone like half of the time during the day.
Yeah. I agree. I do have clients who did this too. And it was her boss texting her, right? But it just shows red flags, because how am I going to be a part of your life when you're not
Yeah.
having this at least some quality time, to get to know some person as well. Yeah, it is true, I think it's really basic respect to at least set the phone aside, or ask for permission if you really need to get to it, right?
Yes.
Before actually continuing with the conversation.
Yeah. And I think the
Yeah.
worst thing is that, people will be thinking this is like the first time we are meeting. I don't even know you, right? And then you're already constantly on the phone. You like, can you
Yeah.
imagine like if we like start dating or we like end up getting married, like I might not see you anymore.
I know. I think this is the thing, right? People don't see first dates as a okay, I need to form a good impression sometimes. They think that I
Yes.
need to be who I am. So you'll know the real me and you accept the real me. Okay. So I think another probably bad behavior is it's not putting an effort to it's the same thing with interviews, right? I tell my
Yes.
clients at the end of the day, when you go for an interview, do you show and tell everything to your interviewer?
I hate my last boss.
Yeah, you go there and say that, it didn't work out with me and my last company. Yeah, me and my last boss didn't get along well. And then, yeah, I just want a job and I'm lonely. And I'm not lonely. I need money, right?
I'm broke.
I'm broke.
I'll just take any job, any job.
Yeah. Is it true? Probably. But we need to have a hook, right? And then we go in and prove ourselves. No one is expecting us to be a perfect partner, a perfect employee, But at least the interview, the effort to be the best version, or avoid certain touchy topics, or make the person feel as comfortable as possible with you. These are things that show that you care, and also that you kind of put effort into this as a first date.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
totally agree. And I think like with our consultants, with our clients, we always talk about this EBA, right? Emotional bank account. Yeah. So, we are always saying it's like when you meet the person for the first time, like clearly, like the bank account is zero, right? Because, you don't know anything about each other. So the idea is that you want to put in money into the bank account, right? Like deposit money so that it becomes like 10, 100, 1,000. And then, that's what you talked about just now, which is creating that good impression. And then when you need to, then you can start drawing down on it when you start telling, some like maybe shocking things or negative things. But if you start off like just like telling all this, like like dumping your entire, like I don't know, like past personal history or like your past relationship, it's just a bit too much to take. And then the person might just
Yeah.
feel that do I really want to continue with this? It's a bit too much
Yeah.
to digest. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, on first dates, the other person doesn't know you yet, right? That's
Yes.
why it's just easier to move on rather than see the good points to deal with what you are sharing sometimes.
Yes, agree. And then we have June here who said that I think both guys and ladies make some simple, small first dates mistakes, but I believe that bad habits can be changed for sure. So I also have a story for that one. So there was this guy. He like we are quite surprised because he's quite a nice guy, right? And then like we are quite surprised how come every date he go on, the girl don't want to go on a second date with him. Then it turned out that he always wears sandals on his dates. So I mean, okay, like it's a bit judgmental maybe on the girl's part, but then at the same time, you also think like, hey, it's the first date, like, why are you wearing sandals, right? So when we started getting all this feedback, and then we told him nicely, we say, hey, why you wear sandals to a date? It's a date, you should wear proper shoes. And then the guy was like, oh, because, like I'm in the IT line, I don't really need to wear proper shoes. I don't need to see clients, all I do is I just code and whatever. Then we're like, okay, got it. Just keep a pair of leather shoes in your car, and for the dates that we send you out on, please just change into the shoes. And like what June has said, right? So he actually changed that so-called bad habit lah. And then once he started doing that, very quickly he actually started like so-called going steady with this girl, and eventually they actually got married. So I agree, like definitely can be changed. Just need to be coachable lah, because we also have worked with some clients who is not very coachable. So that is also a challenge. So I think Rose, like another thing, right, that I think a lot of our singles here might be curious about is, like on the topic of first date, sometimes like people don't know what to talk about, or they just, and as a result, they always end up talking about things that they should not talk about. So what are some should not talk about things that, people should look out for?
So I think some of the do not talk about things. I had this client who wants to be very upfront. So to him is I'm being very honest. I'm being upfront. I want to tell you about my divorce.
Yes, on a first date. That's awesome. Yes. So how
Yes,
did that
okay.
work out for him?
So, but his thought process is I'm being honest. I just want to make sure that I don't lie about it. And then sometimes, like what Alicia says, right? Your date happens to ask, oh, you're divorced. What's your relationship with your ex-wife or things like that. So your date might happen to ask you about your past marriage or past relationships as well. So I told him, like, it's great that you're honest. Don't worry, all these things will come out. Okay, eventually when people are getting to know you better. What you can do, is you can still be honest, but tai chi away and focus on other questions and topics. Okay. So
Okay, so we role play lah, Rose. We role play,
we
okay?
role play, we role
So
play.
okay,
Okay.
so I asked you, so my consultant mentioned to me that you're actually divorced. Yeah, so what
Yeah.
happened, like what happened to you and your ex-partner?
Oh, okay, okay. I mean, I'm very honest about these things. I would love to share with you more as we get to know each other better, lah. Yeah. So I am divorced. I would like to move on and find a suitable partner, and that's why I'm actually going on dates, and I'm very happy to get to know you. So you shared with me just now that you enjoy Marvel movies. So what's the last Marvel movie you watched?
Oh, the last Marvel movie I watched. Hey, see guys, so smooth, right? Wow, good job. Yeah, can you all see what happened there? Tell us about it in the chat. Wow, okay, don't worry if you didn't get that right. You can like try and email us later for a recording in case.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
yes, yes.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think like just to break down and analyze for you guys what Rose just did there. Like yes, she answered the question. She didn't dodge it and kind of like don't know whatever, right? So she just took the question head on, and yes, I am divorced. And then like however, I still want to be looking for a fulfilling relationship, right? That's why like, I'm here getting to know you, and then like slowly segue back to like what like we were talking about just now. So because I mean people always like people who are interested in them, right? We talked about just now people like that people are attentive, people who are interested in them. And then she said, oh, you say you like Marvel movies, so which was the last Marvel movie you watched? Wow, love that. Amazing. Yes.
Then he asked, what if the girl still follows up on the same topic?
Hey, but Danny, you think about it, it's a bit strange, right? Like, so let's say she asked me like, what is the last Marvel movie I watched? Then I say, hey, no, I don't want to talk about that. Like, tell me more about your divorce. it's like, I think on a first date, chances are that's not going to happen lah. Yes. I mean, if
Yeah.
it does, then it is going to be like a bit strange and yeah, so I think exactly. Deborah said then that's a red flag, Liao. Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so Rose, I mean, other than like maybe don't go too much into like the exes, the past relationships, the divorces, like any other topics that you usually tell your clients not to talk about?
I would say not really topics, but in general, the balance of the conversation. So try not to talk about yourself so much. I like to ask at the end of a conversation, does the other party take away with more information about you, or do you take away with as much information as the other party did? So if the person probably know more about you than you did about the person, it means that you did not ask enough questions about the other party. It's important to show curiosity, like I mentioned. Try to ask open-ended questions. So I think clients will ask me, right, how do I do that? What is open-ended questions? What do I talk about? What do I start with? And I think two-way conversation, right? First thing is to make sure that both parties are comfortable. I like to say this, right? At the end of the day, when you come to a date, right, it's not the other party's responsibility to make this conversation flow. It's not the other party's responsibility to make you feel comfortable. Maybe instead of thinking about what the other party should do for me, like Tiong said, really eliminate this me ego. Think about how I can make the other person feel comfortable. Think about, how I can find out more about these people and have this person sharing more about him or herself. So open-ended questions would be questions like how do you find this job? How do you end up here? Or even where, not where, how, what, why, these are the leading questions that can actually help the person open up from things that they are sharing, maybe about their job or their family or their favorite areas to travel to.
Totally agree. I think the challenge sometimes is that people ask a lot of like close-ended questions. So close-ended questions would be things that's like yes or no. Yeah, so it's like, do you like the food here? Yes, no. Like, do you enjoy traveling? Yes, no. Have you watched like Spider-Man? Yes, no. So it's like the same question is just like there's so much more like you can ask. So it's like instead of asking, do you enjoy traveling? Like, where was the last place you went to? And like, why did you choose to go there in the first place? So, like there's just so much more that they can say. And then from there, then you can, add on again. Like, so it's really building up on that conversation, right? And I think like Rose, like what you say about the curiosity as well. And I think like when we have this curiosity mindset, like you never run out of things to talk about. I think like usually I think people just feel that I ask too many questions because I'm just so curious, right? I'm just so curious to know like, oh, but why, like why do you do that? Or what made you decide to, like choose that or whatever, right? So I think maybe the next time you guys go on a date, like just keep that in mind. Like imagine, you are like a 2-year-old, like who's just curious about what the other person have to say, like what the other person has done. And I think that would really give you like just so many topics that you might even have too many things to talk about. And I think Joseph here has also brought up another point, like personal finance could also be a taboo. Yeah. So Rose, what do you think?
Definitely. Okay, I realize this is from my experience working with clients. Of course, it may not be it's not a generalizing statement, right? I just want to be very careful about this. I realize this is more sometimes girls like to ask. Okay, and sometimes the way guys can be oversharing also. Okay, so I think the stories I hear is the girls asking, what kind of house do you stay in? What kind of car do you drive? Like there was once, right? I heard of a story where the girl went to ask, so how much do you earn? Hey, if by the time you finish all these questions, right? Even if he earns a lot and he's exactly what you want, he doesn't want to be with you already. Right? Not there are so many better ways
true
of doing
story.
Yeah, really. And then for on the guy's side, right? There are guys who will overshare. Okay, do you want to see my house? Maybe this one a bit not just overshare. Do you want to see my office? My corner office? Do you want to see my car? And there's this guy, one guy only. He is very successful, regional marketing director. He's so funny, He'll say, no, I'm a marketing executive. Because he doesn't want the girls to know that he's doing well. And then in fact, when the girls ask, I think a girl asked him where he stayed, and then he's one room flat.
Okay.
One room flat. Yeah. So it's quite funny lah. I feel never talk about personal finances, whether it comes to questions or when it comes to sharing, about what you have. It's I don't know how to structure it in a more like a positive light in terms of this topic.
Okay, so we have some feedback here. So Caroline said that this kind of questions reflect not high EQ. Okay, that's interesting. And then Alicia say, also got guy ask me how much I earn also. That's also true lah. I think we also have heard feedback from ladies who say like, oh, the guy asked me how much I earn. So then like we were joking about it. We say maybe the guy wants to see, later can you all be like single income or double income household lah.
Very practical. This guy
very practical. Yeah. But I agree lah. I think like it's just something that might not be very suitable to talk on on a first date, because I think ultimately
No.
like a first date is really to get to know each other better and get onto a second date. I mean, it's like, you know, like what Rose have mentioned. I mean, even though like the guy earns a lot or the girl earns a lot, but you know, if you are going to approach the first date asking such like sensitive or pointed question, right? Like people are just going to feel very uncomfortable. I mean, honestly, like I don't even ask my friend like how much they earn, right? And it's like, it's so
Yeah.
weird. It's like, you know, on a first date and you like ask the person that. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
think this is something we
Yeah.
need to be really
Yeah.
sensitive about. We have another question here who say, Wendy asked, is it appropriate to ask about education background, like where you went to school, or do you have a university degree?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, for this, right, it can still be structured in a positive way, right? I just want to find out, hey, maybe we share the same uni because in Singapore, you know,
There's only
how
that
many uni?
many, yes. Depending how
Yeah.
old you are, but anyways, yes.
Yeah. So if we talk about, oh, where did you study? And then you build that kind of commonality from there, then I feel it's still okay. You know, you're trying to build a common area with your date, right? But it's more, do you have a degree? Then it feels a bit more like a job interview. So ask yourself, why do you ask this question? When I ask, do you have a degree? If he says no, is it a deal breaker for
Deal
you?
breaker, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I think the good news, you know, for those of you who have joined lunch actually, is that this is something you can specify. So, you know, if like someone having a degree is really important to you, so by the time you
Yeah.
meet this person would have a degree, and you don't need to ask this awkward question of, do you have a degree?
Yeah. I agree. Like, it's just really asking yourself, when I get to know this person, it's really for a second date, right?
Yes, yes.
And I'm here to make the person feel comfortable, to build
Yeah.
commonality, so that people would be more likely to say yes to a second date.
Yes, I agree. So
Mm-hmm.
actually that brings me to like you know, like my last question for today lah, which is like what you say, right? I think ultimately, like instead of focusing on like what are we trying to get out of that first date, like I think the most easy and probably highest chance of us getting to a second date is really focusing on the other person lah. You know, so that
Mm.
you know, because we make them feel good, you know, like we make the whole date like go really well. I mean, obviously, the chances they will have a good opinion of us, right? And with that, having a second date is definitely higher. So, what are some easy first date moves that, you know, like our singles can do to be more appealing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I recently talked about this with one of my clients.
Mm-mm.
So she asked me, how to keep the conversation going, what should I do on a first dates? Um, and we were discussing this in detail, right? And I was sharing with her some tips. Of course, it may not apply to everyone, but I feel the first thing I do um when I meet someone for the first time is to bring up a compliment.
Mm.
Yeah. Immediately hearing this, they will feel happier already, right? It's always nice to make
Mm.
someone feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the first thing I'll do when it comes to first dates or first meetings is to compliment the person. It could be his shirt, him being on time, it could be his smile, his dressing, he's making the effort to maybe even pull the chair for you. I think going the extra mile to just compliment, say something nice at the start of dates already make people feel, okay, oh, this girl is so nice. At least there's so okay, feel, some relief there.
Mm.
And from there, right, in terms of first dates, I would say build the topics around positive things. Like really
Mm.
not talk about negative things, right? This
Mm.
is not a complaint session, no matter how bad your day was, maybe
Mm.
because of work, things like that. Then try to move on things that you're passionate about. I really feel that people who are talking about things they're passionate about, they are more attractive, because
Mm.
they're smiling, they are engaged. You can clearly tell that this is something they are excited about, right? So that is always nice to work on. And of course, be friendly. I do feel that on first dates, right, people also monitor how you treat the service staff at the restaurants, okay, or even when it comes to customers near you, or when you first meet a person for the first time as well. And I feel at the end of the day, of course, have fun. It doesn't have to be a rigid like sit down dinner, right? Maybe after a while you want to bring him or her to your favorite coffee, just pop by, do something together. It just have a nicer touch to it, a more natural touch to it.
I agree. We
Yeah.
have Danny who say, I think maybe he's responding to the first point now, which is complimenting the person, right? So Danny say, I'm scared to do this because they might see me as a creep. Yeah, so okay lah, we role play last, okay? So like maybe like Rose, you can try those that like maybe make you like a creep one. Okay, come. So you're the guy and the girl, we are on a date. Okay, so we are
I'm
meeting.
a creep, is it?
Yeah, like you try the creep one. Okay, so like now we meet. Yes.
Okay. Hi Violet. I am Jack.
Oh, hi Jack. Nice to meet you.
Nice dress. Make you look very curvy.
Yeah, so that one is definitely a no lah, right? You saw or not the eye, and then the actions. Yeah, I think that one will definitely make you like a creep lah. Okay, so that's definitely not the way to do it. Okay, we do another way. That is the right way to do it. Okay, let's try again. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hey Violet, my name is Jack. Thanks for coming
hello,
on
Jack.
time. You look great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, see, just simple, right? Thanks for coming on time, and I look great. Like I mean, maybe you want to be a bit more specific, like like you say, like compliment, like maybe
nice
the
smile.
Earrings, yellow smile, yeah. But definitely the first one is that one will make you look like a creep, lah. Okay, so please
maybe
avoid
focus
that.
on complimenting things above the girls.
Neck
nice
up,
neck eyes.
Yeah,
neck up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice eyes, nice smile.
Nice earrings.
Nice
earrings. Nice hair.
Bubbly personality. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's like we guys are having fun here. We don't know whether you are having fun, but Rose and I are having a lot of fun here, and then it's already 9:46. So I think it's time that we take some of your questions. I see that some of you have put some of your questions here. Okay. The first question. I have matches in dating app talking about their business and finding a business partner. Is it very common? Okay, I'll take this one now. I think like nowadays in dating app, right, all things go, you meet people who want to talk about business, people trying to sell you insurance, people trying to sell you MLM. So I think it is common. So that is the challenge sometimes. I mean, of course, we do have, clients or even friends or even our associates who have met someone through dating app. But I think you just need to sift through a lot of all of this. So I think it's just something that you need to live with when you are using a dating app. Okay. Yeah. So Rose, next one for you from Hari. What if my date is very quiet?
Okay, so how to handle if you have a very quiet date?
Yeah.
I guess what I do with very quiet people, what I normally do with very quiet people on first dates, or how I would advise my clients, right? Would be to ask questions and pay attention to what sparks interest, while he is sharing it. Then you elaborate more by asking, how, why, what questions, so that the person can start talking more about this thing that he or she is interested in. So they will generally feel more and more comfortable. It's very often they are quiet because they are nervous.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would start with questions like this, and until you find something that really you can see their expression change, and then elaborate further on those.
Agree. Actually, I think there's quite a number of questions here about like what to say, like someone say I have an upcoming date, we are going to have some cake and coffee. How do I have an engaging conversation, especially when we don't really know each other that well? Yeah, so I think I'm not sure whether you got the date through us, or like you got the date through like or dating app and things like that. But I think the great thing is that be it through dating app or it's through us, right? There usually we would have given some information about the person, like maybe what are their favorite travel destinations, like what are their favorite cuisines, what are their interests and hobbies. So I think just like what Rose talked about just now, it's important that when you're going for a job interview, you're going to be prepared. So same thing like when you're going for a date as well, I think it really helps to just do some research, to just like be aware of like what the other person like. And then like for example, you see that the person's favorite travel destination is like Japan, for example, and maybe you also have been to Japan, like that's a great way to just talk a bit more in depth of it, like where have you been in Japan, like which is your favorite city, like or what was the favorite activity that you do, like tell me a bit more about it, and you can also share the same as well. So I think if you just have a number of these prepared, like because someone else also asked about awkward silence. So I think if you have some of these prepared, so when there's an awkward silence, that's also fine, because I think during dates or even sometimes in our daily conversations, there could be awkward silence, just let it be, like just the awkward silence is there, okay, just wait a bit, and then just say, oh, I read in your profile, that you actually enjoy cooking, like what was the last dish you cook, and from there, like just keep the ball rolling again. Yes, like Rose, you have anything else to add on that?
I really agree. I think preparation is important, right? It helps, you could suggest, restaurants that you always wanted to try. That's always a good conversational starter, and even talking about the ambience, why you picked this restaurant, and of course saying that you hope that the person will enjoy the day as the restaurant or the food as much as you too. Again, I think in terms of awkward silences, there is bound to be awkward silences sometimes. You're on a first date, laughing about it together always makes the situation feel more comfortable.
Yep, totally agree. So we have a question here: how to ask for a second date? Yes, this is a good one. So Rose, any tips on how to ask for a second date?
Okay, I guess if it's most of the time, I feel that we will probably ask for a second date, via WhatsApp lah. After we exchange contact details, we are going back, we're chatting a little bit more after the first date, right? I feel that second dates are a time where you see if there's more connection, right? Maybe you want to try an activity instead of a sit down meal, as much as possible. That might create more chances for you all to have more laughter and fun, together. So depending on how the conversation on your first date go, normally when people ask me where should we go for a second date, or what ideas do you have for a second date, I will ask them, what do you think the girl enjoys doing, based on your conversation on the first date. Based on that, bringing it up as an idea for a second date will feel that you are attentive and you are caring. Okay, how to ask, right? Let's talk about both sides, guys and girls, right? I feel girls can ask for second dates, so I think that's how I choose my husband, right?
Oh yeah, tell the story. How do you ask for second date?
So for me, it's not really a date lah, because we are kind of friends, right? But obviously I want to go out, so I will just text him, oh, I'm so hungry, I want to eat prata.
He say, you go eat yourself lah. Then that one, he's surely not interested already.
Not interested in me lah. Yeah. I'm so hungry, I want to eat prata now. Then he replied, oh, okay, where you want to go? Then I said, then I said, but no one go with me. Yeah, so I will just keep this until he asks me.
Yeah, I think I agree lah. If like you hint until like that, then he's still like blur, then either he really very blur or he's not interested. So like that's what we always tell girls, right? We say, okay lah, you don't want to be the one who asks, then you hint lor, then you like make it very clear that like you definitely will go and you won't reject him, or like there's no one else is like willing to do it, right? So they know that actually you are just trying to give them that opportunity lah.
Yes, yeah. So I think we don't really actually have to ask outright, hey, do you want to go out with me next Thursday
Yes.
at this time? Are you free? No need, I just draw a hint that I like this. Hey, I saw this. Oh, it looks so good, leh.
Yes. Yeah, I think usually the guys will get the hint lah. So guys, when you hear these kind of things, right, don't go and say like, oh, why don't you go with your friend, go with your brother, your sister, please get the hint lah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Then if not, I tell you for what, right?
Exactly.
I'm so hungry, I go and buy myself already.
Exactly. Now got Grab some more, right? Or last time don't have lah.
Yeah, but still.
Okay, we have two very similar questions, so I thought let's address it. One from Eugene, and then the other one is from anonymous attendee. Okay, so the question is about how to date amidst this COVID pandemic lah. Yeah, because I think it's quite challenging. Because for example, the other person also say that in the past people say you can meet potential life partners through outdoor activities. But with COVID pandemic, not as many people doing like hiking, jogging, whatever. What are some other ways to meet a potential life partner during this pandemic?
I mean, there's still a lot of ways other than outdoor activities because restaurants have opened up. A lot of places have opened up, right? As we're going into the endemic, so we are not limited. Compared to maybe July or even last year's circuit breaker anymore. There are many, many platforms. I mean, I have clients who met their partners through gym, going to the gym. Okay, maybe not so active. How about trying something indoors, like maybe going for a class? I think a class could be something that you could try. But I do feel that dating platforms out there are definitely still available. We are still working, right, Violet? We are still open, right? Yeah, we are still open, during this time. There are a lot of platforms that are available. So these are great chances to just have that opportunity to actually meet someone for dates lah. So any other ways, actually a lot, really. Dating apps, Lunch Actually, offline agencies, all of these platforms are available for you to actually meet people lah.
Yeah, so I think sometimes it's really we just need to take that step because we have done a dating survey recently, and then I think some of you are saying that I mean those of you who might have answered the dating survey lah. So some people have been saying that the pandemic have actually made them feel maybe less confident about themselves or less confident about going on the first date because maybe they have not been going out for a long time. So we totally understand that. So it's just taking the first step, and I think once you try it out, then you realize that, oh, okay, it's not so bad. Yeah, so 加油, 加油. Okay, let's see. We have another question here. I think it's quite interesting, this one from June. Guys should confess their feelings or no to become boyfriend and girlfriend. What do you guys think? My answer is don't confess. Hey, this one very interesting. Maybe we hear from like our participants tonight lah. Okay, so I think June is probably a guy. Okay, so June as in Jun. So what do you think? So should guys confess their feelings or not if they want to be boyfriend and girlfriend? Like June, for whatever reason, say that don't confess. So okay lah, let's see what our participants say tonight. Jane say yes, you should confess. Okay. Any other thoughts? Don't be shy, guys. Please help, guys and girls. Please help June out. Yeah. The answer is just yes and no leh. Not so difficult to answer. Okay. Ma say yes, but not first date. Janelle say yes. Clara say yes. Hari say yes. Ben say I think should be mutual. Hui Min say should confess. Eugene say yes. Teo say for guys yes. Shulin say yes. Su Ying say yes, it gives a clarity. Billy say confess interest but don't pressure them to make choice. Joseph say no. Okay, so June, I think you have your answer lah. I mean, like 90% of the people here say yes. But having said that, like Rose, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, I agree. I think that it's important to make sure that your feelings are known, right? I mean, just making a guess, putting myself in the shoes of someone who likes another party. Why would I decide not to confess? I think it's the fear of rejection.
Yes.
I think it's scary knowing that this person can possibly turn you down. and say no, that yeah, I don't feel the same way, right? It is scary, I know. But I also ask myself, if I don't take a shot, right, I will never know for sure.
Mm,
As you know what's that quote, super cheesy one? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
mm. It's
And it's
true.
true. It's
Yes.
true.
Yes.
If I ask, maybe she likes me. There's this
Yeah.
50% chance. So it's
Yeah.
50% chance better than zero.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes. And I
And
always ask myself, what is the worst thing that can happen? We already
yes,
know. The worst thing is she'll say no, lor. But what is the
yeah,
best thing? The best thing is she'll say yes. Right?
yeah,
So it's
yes,
like you say, like it's always 50-50. But if you don't say it, then it could like be, like missed opportunity, right? Because like she also might be very shy, and then she also don't say, and then you also don't say, and then like 10 years down the road, you walk past each other, and then you're like, oh my goodness, you mean you also like me? Then too bad already
yeah.
by then.
That's why I don't like to watch love stories. I love like movies or romance movies. Waste time, right? Waste time. If from the start, right, I just say, yeah, I really like you, and I do want to get that settled already. Both sides waiting, wait until the world no more. Still waiting.
That's why. So it must be like Rose and I also like, give my husband a chance to ask me on the first date, by hint until like he can have to ask me on, date already. So time flies. It's already 9:59, guys. So, we have to go soon. But at the same time, I want to share with you that we have a very special gift for you tonight. As usual, we always have a special webinar gift. So for tonight, it is a super relevant ebook because it's about First Date 101. So I think, like if you have enjoyed what we have spoke about tonight, you can go to the link, like that is being shown right now, and then submit your contact details to get a copy of this ebook, which is First Date 101. And of course, if you have enjoyed our webinar so far, or you have enjoyed tonight's webinar, please do share it with your friends or your colleagues who you think would benefit from our webinars as well. So maybe if you haven't had time to buy them a Christmas gift, this could be your gift to them. Yep. So thank you so much, guys, for like your participation. Like I think you guys have been super like engaged, like been asking so many questions. I think there's like, oh my goodness, still so many more questions that we haven't answered. Yeah, so okay lah, maybe we will try and answer a few more. But we really, really enjoy, like the time with you tonight lah. I think it's been really fun. Like Rose and I here are like entertaining ourselves, so we hope that you are being entertained as well. Yeah, so Christina have put out the link for the webinar gift, so please do go and get a copy of it if you have not. Okay, come Rose, we choose like maybe one or two more questions lah, since there are just so many. Okay,
Yeah,
how
there are a
to
lot.
turn people down nicely? What is the socially acceptable reaction to receiving rejection? Wow.
Mm. Violet, you have a good tip or not?
How to turn people down nicely. Actually, I'm like those like just honesty is the best policy sort of person. Yeah, so I think, I mean, if like I know someone like me, and then I mean they hint until like, and then I'll just say oh, like I'm really flattered lah that you like me, like I have really enjoyed your company. However, I don't think like we are the right fit for each other lah, so I just want to thank you for for liking me lah. Yeah, and I wish you all the best.
Wow, oh my, that's sweet leh. I will
Yeah.
fall more in love with you. Daniel said good template. Yeah. So copy and paste. You can record and listen again. Write down exactly what Violet just said.
Yeah.
How to forget you like that, Violet?
Yeah. So someone say, how can I get the whole webinar for review, please? Yeah, actually now, right? Like, I mean, you guys who are here listening to us, you're very lucky because now actually we do charge for like when people download lah. But maybe we are feeling very happy now because it's like Christmas. So maybe I think if you ask for a copy of this, like maybe this month only, like Christina, maybe you want to help them, like just send it to them. Yeah, because I think they are getting a lot of lot of content from tonight's session. Okay, Rose, you choose the another question that we can answer.
I choose the next question.
Mm.
Okay. Okay, the reject one is done, you know. um, okay, I think a few people are asking about, how to handle someone who is asking sensitive questions, and maybe I'm just bundling the other question would be, how to handle someone who is following a list of check questions like in the interview.
Yeah. Okay. I take this one, I answer, then you share your thoughts. I usually like to just just take it heads on lah. I don't like to beat around the bush. So chances are I'll be like, okay, actually I feel that you have asked me quite a lot of pretty sensitive questions now. I would just talk about it openly. I think because like what you say, Rose, just now, like we want to know the intention as well, right? And I would just say is like, I think it has been great. Like I think the match that Lunch actually had made, I mean, just in case it is a Lunch actually date, right? I think it's a good match. Like I've really enjoyed our conversation so far, but I realized that you have been asking me quite a number of pretty sensitive and pointed questions, which makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Yeah, but I definitely would love to get to know you better. Yeah, so maybe we just want to share other topics for now. So I think I would just kind of take it head on rather than I keep having to like siam this person, like, and then beat around the bush, and then I mean, if the person say, oh, but this is how I go about it, like I need to like checklist everything out, like I need to see whether you are a suitable match for me, then it's just not the right match, right? Yeah, I think sometimes people are just not aware of it. They just kind of like have this like checklist mindset, and then they like, maybe some of you have mentioned just now, maybe the EQ not really there lah, or like they are just not thinking about it, or they just might be nervous. So I think when we are just kind of like just take it heads on and just like like bring awareness to like, hey, you're actually making me feel quite uncomfortable, right? But actually I would really like to know you better, then they'll be like, okay, they might just like back off a bit.
Yeah. Wow, okay. Wow, your answer's very good. I was just gonna say what I will do is, because my personality is a bit more I like to make jokes lah.
Yes,
I think I'm very funny, right? So I will probably joke, hey, you're interviewing me,
yeah, that's also a very good one. So immediately you lighten up the whole, and hint, hopefully the person get it, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to say something actually I really feel, but I make it a joke. I say, hey,
yes,
interview. Is it because you're in HR? 职业病, right? 职业病 means
or the person is not in the HR, then you can say, it's your secret wish, actually you actually wanted to be in HR, right? You're practicing on me right now, right?
Yeah. Then maybe I joke, you want me to fill in the form first?
Okay, I think we really like, like we are making ourselves happy. Okay, so if you like our answers, let us know in the chat. Okay, this one I think we should help, like Joshua who asked this question. I've been on a few dates with a girl now. How would I be able to take the next step into becoming closer or more intimate? Rose.
Wow, if I like a girl now, how do I take steps now? Wow, that's a very nice way of asking me this question. You know how my male client asked me this question the last time? So honesty, right? He asked me, hey, Rose, I want to, I really like this girl. Do you have any like date suggestions that can allow me to have some touch point with her? So I can see if she likes me too. I'm like, what kind of question is that?
So what was your answer?
I suggested activities like pool. I suggested, you can
nice.
Go how bowling.
Yeah, so make sure you know how to like play pool lah. Yeah, don't know, you go and learn first.
Yeah. Okay. Bowling also can, right? Pottery. Sure, you can
Hey, that
mash
one very
the pot a bit.
cliche.
You don't
Portray the
hold her from
ghost.
behind, okay? You sit next to each other and bring your own pot. Okay, painting also can art jam.
Yeah, like,
So
okay
at
lah,
least
but
can
art
close
jam is
together.
quite close lah. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
immediately you already asked them to go and learn dancing, so you didn't.
Depends lah.
Step
Maybe
by
not
step,
every.
step by step.
But dancing also can. Yes, dancing also can. Yeah, salsa. But maybe you're terrible, then just laugh about it, lor. Yeah. So I mean, the question is how to take it to the next step, right? I would feel if you have not shared your feelings with her, do so. Just share with her how you feel, how what you enjoy about getting to know about this person so far. It's even nice to hear what you like about her. I think that then generally talking about this, I feel depending on how receptive she is, right? Sometimes when you're walking also, like brush of hands, leaning closer, and even when you're laughing, you laugh and then you see the girl touch your arms. I think these are also small body languages that show you that she's interested. Then you can try to hold her hand from there.
Yes, I agree. I think like crossing of the road, like maybe you just support her, like, and just to see whether she just kind of like go further away lah. I think the fact that you have been going out with her for a couple of dates now, like, so chances are she's interested, and she's also like seeing whether you would take the initiative as well. So I think, like, we always talk about, there is this like personal zone, right? I mean, it's like there is like people that we don't know, like there's a certain distance. People that we know better, we let them in a bit further in, and then of course people that we are very comfortable with, or our partner, will let them even further in. So you just kind of want to test that boundary a bit and kind of see, like, do they kind of back off? So if they even if it's like just the smallest, like sometimes it's just very little, but you can kind of see it, right? Then maybe she's not really ready to get into the next level of intimacy yet. Yeah, so I think those are some of the things that you can work with.
Yeah, actually, you're right, Vala. I think that now that you mention it, there are small things like the guy guiding you when you're walking along the road, the guy guiding you to be inwards, when you're crossing the traffic light, when people are crossing, and then this gentle tap, right? It's a nice gesture to kind of test if the girl is receptive to. And if the girl likes you, it's actually quite sexy, right?
Yeah, the girl will be like, ooh, it's like, okay, like he really likes me. Or like the girl is like, wow, like really like stepping away.
You really take care of me, Yeah, of course you don't like that. It's very obvious one.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, those are things that you can try.
So we hope that has helped you. So Chris has just put out the link again. There are really a lot of questions, but at the same time, it is quite late for the team. So, like we have Christina here, we have Chaya who has just joined us, like she's also here for her first webinar. Please say hi to Chaya in the chat as well. And of course, Rose has like a super long day, I'm sure, at work, but obviously she's still here, like, having fun with me tonight. Like we say, we are the two flowers, tonight. So thank you guys for joining us for this last webinar of the month and of course of the year. Thank you so much for your support throughout. Thank you for like really like wanting to improve yourself. I think that is really, really very awesome. But before we end, I really want to hear from you tonight, like, what is the biggest takeaway that you have from tonight? Okay, and what are you going to do about it? Because like we want active learning. We don't want like we just listen, have fun, laugh about it, and then just forget all about it. I think it's really important for you to just kind of reflect very quickly, like, what is your biggest takeaway? Write in the chat right now so that we know and we can share it with the rest of the people as well. Okay, let us know. So like we are waiting to read. We are still waiting for okay, so yes, okay, make people comfortable, be curious. Yes, make people comfortable. Yes, I think that is so important, right? So rather than focusing on other people making us comfortable, like really making them feel comfortable. And then we have Su Ying who say like very interesting webinar, make me want to go for blind dates. Okay, you know where to find us, Su Ying.
Okay. Yeah, open Monday to Sunday, 10 to 7.
Daniel say, thanks, Rose and Violet. This session was helpful and entertaining. Like biggest takeaway, put down the me ego, help people comfortable. Yes. Novian say, thanks for the useful tip. Help me on my upcoming first date. Joshua say, how to improve interaction. Ernest say, main objective of first date is to get a second date. So instead of trying to focus on what we're trying to get out of the first date, focus on the other person instead. Preston say, all the sharings are very real and true. Hui Min say, putting in the effort for every date and making the best impression. Irene say, don't talk too much about myself, but ask open-ended questions. Shilin say, relax and be comfortable, and the other person will feel relaxed too. June say, like Violet's test the boundary method. Most guys don't know about this or how to do it. Okay, next time we role play lah, huh? So join us in the next session. Now we sell our next.
Yeah, I can't like how to do the action. I cannot show.
You ask your husband to help you the next time with the role play. So he's like next to you.
Yeah, I think the role plays were interesting. Thank you so much. Yeah. No, but my husband. But you come to my house, then you come and touch me.
So our next webinar we do like live stream style lah. Okay, we sit next to each other, right? Then we role play. What you all think?
Everybody give us all the scenarios. Then we role play the like no and the yes.
Hey, so Rose, you're going to be here more already. Shiling say love to have Rose in webinars more often. Janelle say love to the role plays. Caroline say good role play. Wow, okay lah, not bad lah. Everybody feel very entertained lah. It's not just we entertaining ourselves.
Yes, nice dress, Violet.
Nice fringe, like makes you look very young.
Yeah, see, wow, immediately good and bad example.
That's why. Okay, so I think with that, guys, we really have to go. I don't want to keep my team here for too long, like they need their rest as well. So once again, thank you for joining us. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. And take care, stay safe, and stay positive. Okay, bye guys.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.